The greatest treasure of our country is our people. And it just so happened that 80% of them are poor. And that's the greatest unfreedom of it all. GK refuses to accept the scandal that the Filipino who are so talented are so wasted in slums. That the Filipino who lives in a land of abundance go hungry. GK refuses to accept that the Filipino, who are the best doctors, the best engineers, the best professionals outside of their country, can mess up their own country. In Cabiao, Nueva Ecija, we have a youth center. In Payatas, we have a health center. So I'm just painting to you a picture of from houses to farms to now health centers to schools. The idea is GK is this great movement about doing a lot of things for our people and giving the poor a chance at something. At the core of GK is, of course, the houses and building communities. But after 4 years of building, communities, we have now 2,000 communities all over the country, affecting roughly 500,000 lives already. But as you grow bigger and bigger, you realize that it also draws a lot of partnerships. And one of the key partnerships actually are the schools. We bring our NSTP students, we bring our high school students to these communities. Our own alumni has actually found a new rallying point. They are building 200 communities just by themselves. And one of the things that people have been asking, wala namang kulang sa yung gustong tumulong. What can we do? What can we do for nation building? And so in response, GK came up with the Builders Institute, which is really a movement of schools in nation building. Not wanting to build just homes or send volunteers. The school is not just a source of warm bodies. The best asset of the schools is their intellect, is their teaching. And Ateneo, in response, connected with the School of Government and said, our own passion is the passion for national change through local governance. And so the Builders Institute, the first ever Builders Institute in the country, was put up in the Asog. The Ateneo School of Government has partnered with Gawad Kalinga to actually help in marketing GK, introducing GK to so many local governments, but more importantly, helping local governments implement Gawad Kalinga. The key event that kicked off this partnership was the first ever Township Development Summit in November of 2007. It was an event hosted by the Ateneo School of Government that was the first ever gathering of all local governments involved with Gawad Kalinga. And you'll be surprised, around 100 mayors and governors came, bringing along their staff to a crowd of 300 people. And what you realize is that with the coming together of Ateneo, the brand of Ateneo and the brand of Gawad Kalinga, it brings with it so much integrity that people actually listened. And, some anecdotes there really, well, the event itself is big, but, the anecdotes on the ground, yung bulungan ng mga mayor na, wow, first time ako umattend ng forum na lahat nagstay. Pag mayor ka ngayon at wala kang Gawad Kalinga, hindi ka in. We work with our local governments, but you actually need to provide channels for interaction and intervention. And GK provides that excellent channel. So what we're trying to do here in the School of Governance is actually harness that potential for governance, because GK is really focused on building communities. Us, we're building a new network of leaders, because that's one thing we don't realize with them. Normal lang silang tao. They're just an ordinary Filipino wanting to do something good. And you have to trust that goodness. No matter how big or how little is left of that, you have to trust it and nurture it. There's excellence in the Filipino. In every Filipino. Regardless of your education, regardless of your status in life, simply by being Filipino, you have greatness in your DNA.
The world is a globalized society. And the problems that we face right now vary. We have problems in environment, education, and health. However, as the world progresses, these problems become more and more complicated. Therefore, by these problems, as they become more complicated, you cannot use the old way of solving these problems. We need to look for new, innovative, and better ways of solving these social problems. At the same time, they should not be one-shot or one-shot deal problem solvers. They should be sustainable. They should be scalable. And that's the reason why we have a social entrepreneurship program. Because we want to produce not only leaders, but leaders who will develop new, innovative, sustainable solutions to the social problems of our country. Young people, old people, professionals, anyone who wants to be a change maker for our country, they can just go to us and we'll give them programs. And we have seen some of these programs become successful. As I said, we have programs such as Rags to Riches. Two of the people who helped start Rags to Riches studied with us at the Ateneo School of Government. We have students who set up their own social enterprises. like Change for Change, Bilabag. These social enterprises are student-run. They were created with help from the School of Government in cooperation with the John Gokongwei School of Management. I think change has to start not from the person beside you, not from the government leader that you are criticizing, but it has to start from you. Because at the end of the day, we can talk whatever we want, we can criticize, we can tell what's wrong with this government, but if we don't act, and if we don't do our own share in making this country a better place for everyone, then I think we do not have any right whatsoever to complain.